Thank you guys for watching the Animal One Guys YouTube channel. If you like my content, leave a comment down below. Ask me questions, let me know what you liked about it. And hey, click on the little like button. But please, if you want, go ahead and subscribe, because it helps my channel out. That way you can stay up to date with all my videos. And if you want, click on the bell icon to get notified. Right? Right? Huh? 1 out of 2. Not bad. Hey, reptile rescue family. It's this time of year. It's mid-September. We're rolling into October. Fall is coming. And what happens? You see your bearded dragon just doing this all day. Laying down in the dark here, doing this all day. Look at Mr. Freeze. He's tunneled underneath his paper, doing this all day. Naughty, naughty. So you see your bearded dragon just chilling inside the cave, or laying on the cool side, laying on the ground all day and not doing anything. What is going on? I would say for most bearded dragon owners, guys, it's our most hated time of the year. Comes every year. What is it? It's brumation. I've done videos about this before, but don't worry, we're going to do videos again. I'm going to walk you through brumation, what it is, why it happens, and what to do during it. So if you don't know, if this is your first time bearded dragon owner, we're going to go right into it. So what is brumation? Let's start there. Brumation is typically around the end of the year, around fall time. Your bearded dragon knows that the year is ending, and they have to rest to build up the amount of energy they deem necessary to have good energy for the following year. People will say, oh, well, that's some kind of hibernation. No, it's not, because your bearded dragon isn't going into a deep comatose sleep. In fact, they could even be awake for a lot of the brumation. Well, then, what exactly are they doing? Just like I said, they're just resting. They're just relaxing. Yep, this could be a 1 month up to a 6 month relaxation they take, where they might doze off, they might be awake, but typically they will become extremely less active. They will go on the cool side of their tank, and sometimes they will even go in caves or bury themselves under whatever liner you have at the bottom if you have a blanket, and they're just relaxing. Most people freak out because they think, oh, my dragon's sick, it's not basking, it's not awake, it's not active, but that's not the case. They're just relaxing for the following year. So, what do we have to do for this? Oh, good question. So the first thing is going into brumation, what you should know is you should leave your dragon alone. You shouldn't take your dragon out of its cage. You shouldn't put it up to the heat to bask. You should resist the urge to go and pet your dragon. Now look, I'm petting my dragon because Johnny Cage is not in brumation yet. But I'm filming this video right when their lights first turn on in the morning. That way they look all drowsy and sleepy to simulate the brumation that some of them may have started already. So you don't want to go and disturb the brumation. Brumation process is very healthy for your dragon. They don't all brumate, so don't panic. And they do brumate for different times. Some brumate shortly, some brumate long. I know it stinks, because if you've got one that brumates for 6 months, that's half the year that your fat dragon spends being lazy. Wouldn't that be nice if we could do it? So, we're going to leave the dragon alone. But if you're lucky enough to have them in a spot where you can do little spot checks and see them and make sure that they're just chilling under there, that's great. But don't go ruffling and picking everything up. The second thing to know is we want to cut the light hours down. If you've got your light on for 12 hours a day, you should be cutting your light hours down to about 10 hours. That's normally because it's the winter months and there's less light hours outside. So you should be doing this whether your dragon is brumating or not. In the winter, you should be cutting your light hours accordingly. My good girl. Hi. The other thing is we don't want to offer food. When bearded dragons brumate, they slow everything down in their body, including their metabolism, so their ability to digest. And sometimes people have gotten their bearded dragons extremely sick by feeding them during brumation. What can happen is, and unfortunately it's really common, people panic. You've got some food on your mouth, Phoenix. People panic when their bearded dragon is brumating because they don't see them eat, and they pull them out of brumation and they'll feed them food, especially sometimes bugs, which the bearded dragons go crazy for, and they'll eat. But then they're still in brumation and they'll immediately sometimes go right back into brumation. That food can sit in the bearded dragon's stomach for over 6 months. What does it do in there? It ferments in there, it rots, it turns all gassy, and your bearded dragon can get extremely sick if you feed it during brumation. And that counts for greens too, not just bugs. So you just want to leave the bearded dragon in its hide, decrease the light hours, and let it ride out through the brumation. It's actually kind of a simple thing as long as you know. When your bearded dragon is awake from brumation, it will come out naturally and it will start basking again. And then typically after one full day of basking, then it's okay to feed your bearded dragon. You don't want to feed it on the first day it's basking because, again, it's still turning on all the processes in its system and it needs the heat to help assist and do that. And these things take a little bit of time to ramp up and get to full speed. So while they're still getting started up, it's still bad to introduce food or introduce a nice warm bath. Also, don't be shocked that after brumation, you may get a very large poo because maybe they didn't poop right before they went into brumation. You don't know when they're going to start brumating, so you treat everything as normal except for when they're just relaxing. So Mr. Freeze looks like he's getting ready to go. He's dug his little tunnel, even though he has a cave. He's dug his tunnel. He's relaxed. I'm not going to offer him food. I'm not going to mess with him. I'm just going to wait. If he comes out in a week or two and is out basking again, then he'll get back on the food schedule. So although brumation seems scary and you may have the urge to do something, if you just sit there and let it ride out, 99% of the time you're good. Now, the main thing going into brumation, around now, you want to make sure your bearded dragon seems healthy. There's no bubbles around the mouth, no oozing out the nose. They're not, things like that. That way, when that starts to happen, it is brumation and is not an illness happening. Sometimes bearded dragons are lost during brumation time because the bearded dragon is actually getting sick. It's very bad timing around the time it is to brumate. And then you don't realize, oh wow, the bearded dragon's lethargic habits are because they're sick, not because they're brumating. This is why it's really important to know that you have a healthy reptile going into brumation. So you've moved, huh? Let's do a quick recap about brumation. It's just them relaxing to get energy for the following year. Remember, they don't always sleep, they just relax. It's completely normal. The length of time that they brumate can vary from as short as a week or two to I've seen as long as 6 months. Don't feed them during the brumation time because the food will ferment in their stomach. Decrease the light hours down to at least 10 hours of light. You can bring it down a little bit lower to 8 or 9, depending on where you live. And just remember, let your little lizard buddy relax. They just want to chill out for the amount of time they need to chill out. Hopefully this has helped you guys, answered all your questions on brumation. If you've got others, you can leave them in the comments as always. Thank you to everyone who supports my reptile rescue channel. Anybody who's donated through the one-time super thanks, whether you've subscribed, you've left comments on my video, you leave likes on my video because those boost my algorithm and help my videos get shown, or you take one step further and you support me on Patreon. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have great times in the Discord with me. I do voice chats. We talk with text. There's so much interaction with me, and I have to tell you guys once again, thank you. I appreciate all of you. Take care, guys. We're going to make it through another year of brumation. Thank you guys for supporting my reptile rescue family.